You're about to see the biggest snake ever discovered. And no, this is not a joke or a clickbait story, it's real, and we have the footage to prove it.
This thing is so massive that even wildlife experts thought it was fake until they saw it move.
I've seen horror movies that looked more realistic, but guess what? This actually happened in the Amazon in 2023.
And if you think the story ends there, think again. This discovery opened up a mystery that goes way beyond one snake.
How big can snakes really get? Are there more out there? Could something prehistoric still be alive?
Yo, stick around because at the end of this video, we're showing you the real unedited footage that almost broke the internet.
And if you're brave enough to watch it till the end, you might not look at rivers the same way ever again.
All right, let's rewind the story. It all started in early 2023 in northern Brazil. A group of construction workers were clearing a riverbank when they saw it.
At first, they thought it was a fallen tree, but then it moved, slowly, deliberately, with power.
I've mistaken a hose for a snake before? This question mark. This was like mistaking a log for a submarine.
They had discovered a giant green anaconda over 33 feet long and nearly 900 pounds. That's longer than a London bus and heavier than a vending machine full of regret.
Green anacondas, Eunectes murinus, are the largest and heaviest snakes alive today. Native to the Amazon, they thrive in warm, murky water, where they can strike without warning.
So basically, they're stealthy, giant noodles of doom. Got it.
They're ambush predators. They wrap their coils around prey, like deer, capybaras, even jaguars, and squeeze until the heartbeat stops.
And here's something wild. Female anacondas are way bigger than males. They've been known to eat their mates. Literal man-eaters.
Wow, and I thought dating was risky before.
Their babies are born live, up to 80 at a time. That means this jungle grandma could have been the matriarch of an entire snake dynasty.
And get this anaconda might have been over 50 years old. That's 5 decades of silent growth in one of the world's most dangerous ecosystems.
Pause. Just imagine swimming and a 30-foot shadow glides under you. Yeah, welcome to the Amazon.
And yet, that might not even be the biggest snake ever recorded.
Can you imagine being the person who sees that thing for the first time? You're clearing the forest, doing your job, and suddenly you're face to face with something out of a Jurassic Park sequel. One worker actually dropped his equipment and ran. Another said he froze completely. And one guy, brave or crazy, pulled out his phone and started filming. That's the video that went viral. It's moments like this that remind us the jungle doesn't care if we're ready. It just shows us what it's been hiding.
Here's something most people don't know. After a large meal, an anaconda can go weeks, even months, without eating. Their metabolism slows way down, and they vanish beneath the water, almost like they're hibernating. They can also stay underwater for up to 10 minutes without surfacing. Combine that with low-light vision, and you have an animal perfectly designed to disappear. Imagine being a researcher in those conditions. You could be surrounded by giants and never even know.
Let's time travel. About 60 million years back, after the dinosaurs went extinct, the jungle had a new ruler, the Titanoboa.
This prehistoric serpent could grow over 42 feet long and weigh more than 2,500 pounds. That's heavier than a rhino and longer than a school bus.
At that size, it wouldn't just eat you, it could swallow your car.
Fossils were found in Colombia, and the climate back then was shockingly similar to the Amazon today.
Meaning, it's not crazy to think that a Titanoboa-sized creature could survive in the present day.
Which brings us to the Yakumama, an Amazonian myth that tells of a giant snake god that guards the rivers.
And suddenly, I'm done with swimming forever.
There have even been pilot reports, especially from the Congo, of seeing massive snakes over 50 feet long moving through the forest canopy.
Most were dismissed, but the consistency of these stories is too strong to ignore.
Okay, but real talk. Why are we not sending drones in there right now?
Let's talk about what a modern-day giant snake would need to survive.
1. A warm, humid environment. 2. A lot of food. 3. Isolation.
Which the Amazon provides, completely.
Except for the part where tourists show up with GoPros and no clue.
Biologists estimate we've only discovered 10% of species in the Amazon rainforest. That means 90% could still be completely unknown.
In fact, over 400 new species were discovered in the Amazon in just the past decade alone.
That includes frogs, fish, mammals, and possibly snakes that defy what we thought was biologically possible.
Or just rebrand themselves as tree vines and chill.
Some researchers now believe that snakes grow throughout their entire lives. So if one lives long enough, it could grow to Titanoboa size again.
Okay. Picture this. You're swimming, it's hot, you're vibing, and suddenly, boom, giant ripple in the water, you freeze. Something's down there, something big. Your brain says dolphin, your gut says, nope, jungle submarine, get out. That's the vibe this snake gives. The kind of thing that makes you rethink every nature documentary you ever watched.
So let's circle back to 2023. That footage, it's real. Experts verified the video was untouched. No CGI, no editing tricks.
You ever wonder why we're always shocked when nature outsmarts us? I mean, we build drones, satellites, billion-dollar tech, and still get blindsided by a giant snake taking a nap. Maybe we're not exploring the jungle. Maybe the jungle's just letting us in when it's ready to mess with us. Either way, I'm not going anywhere near murky water without a snake-proof jetpack. If that exists, call me.
It was filmed by a team of construction workers and later analyzed by Brazilian wildlife officials. The snake was measured, tagged, and safely relocated.
Which means it's still out there somewhere, just being terrifying in peace.
But that moment confirmed what many had only guessed, that the rainforest still hides monsters, and we've only scratched the surface.
It also proves something bigger. We're not done discovering this planet, not even close.
And hey, if you like this journey, there's a lot more where that came from.
Hit that like button, subscribe to CurioMax, and join us next time as we dig up more of the world's wildest, weirdest, and most unbelievable mysteries.
Okay, but seriously, if that anaconda was real and not the biggest one out there, what else is hiding in the jungle?
Scientists are now questioning the size limits of modern reptiles. Some propose that under the right conditions, a snake could grow indefinitely.
It's called indeterminate growth. As long as a snake has enough space, food, and heat, it doesn't stop growing.
So theoretically, if one of these giants lives long enough, we might see another Titanoboa emerge in real life.
But that raises a bigger question. Why are we only seeing these creatures now? Why haven't we recorded them more often?
Well, maybe someone has.
There are rumors that oil companies and private researchers have found and covered up evidence of massive creatures in remote regions.
Photos sealed, files redacted, satellite footage blurred out. Everything hidden under the label of national security.
And the craziest part? Some claim these creatures are being protected or even studied.
There are encrypted reports of entire areas closed off to scientists, regions where native tribes are relocated and drones mysteriously go dark.
Think about it. If an apex predator like this exists, it would change everything, from biology textbooks to tourism laws.
But what do you believe? Are these sightings just myths? Or are we standing on the edge of discovering a living fossil?
Stay curious, stay alert, and keep watching CurioMax.
You might think this is just a story about a snake, but it's much more than that. This changes how we see the Amazon and how we see the unknown.
It's a biological anomaly, a living fossil, something that survived evolution's dead ends and emerged in modern time.
Scientists call this a Lazarus taxon, species thought extinct, then suddenly reappearing. It's happened with fish, plants, and now maybe reptiles.
But why here? Why now? Is the rainforest revealing its secrets? Or are we finally noticing what's always been there?
The truth is, the deeper we go into these jungles, the more myths start to look like facts.
In fact, satellite heat maps have shown massive, consistent thermal anomalies, moving like warm-blooded creatures, where there should only be trees.
And those maps, locked behind corporate firewalls, most of the data owned by private extraction companies. Coincidence?
Some experts believe we're dealing with more than biology, that there's something deliberate about this secrecy.
Governments may be protecting these creatures, not out of kindness, but out of fear. Fear of what happens if they're exposed.
If a living Titanoboa is confirmed, everything changes. Conservation, science, tourism, even military strategies.
And here's the twist. What if this wasn't the only one? What if this was just the beginning?
This isn't a horror story. It's a reality check. A reminder that the world is still wild, still full of monsters we haven't met.
Stay curious,
stay bold, and keep watching CurioMax.